Hey guys, in this video I want to show you the scaling strategy and also the whole case study on how we scaled here. This one funnel to over $2.2 million, starting from zero here and till today. So it's about 50 days we've scaled this one, and I want to show you exactly how we did it. I want to show you the type of the products that we are focusing on. This is one of our products, and basically pretty much how we scaled it from scratch in terms of the content, in terms of the product selection, and also how we maintain these results for ongoing period of time. So I want to show you all of these guys so you can take it and implement it and use it for your own business. So the most important thing, guys, that you have to be focusing on is that your product, the product that you sell needs to solve the problem, right? And a lot of you guys selling problem solving products in some capacity. For us, beauty niche, health and beauty, this is where we focus mostly. And by most people's standards, it's saturated. But for me, when everyone sees saturated, I see that there is a lot of demand, and it means that people are buying the products. So what we do is pretty much we are finding the variations of the products that have been saturated by most people's standards, and we creating new variations of those products. Or we talk to our suppliers, hey, do you have new variations of this product? Can you talk to the factory and ask them if they have a new variation of this product? Because that pretty much opens a new market, right? For example, here, this product, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but this product here, this helps with back pain, right? It helps with, you can see these guys have been on the Shark Tank, and so they came to the Shark Tank. If you don't know the story, it's a very interesting story, because they come to the Shark Tank and they wanted 45 million. They had 45 million valuation for their company, which is ridiculous by most company standards on Shark Tank. But then they have revealed that they've made, it was 2020, and they revealed that they have made $12 million in sales. By that period of time, maybe a few months into the year, they already made $12 million in sales and $4 million in profit for that time period. And they said that they're on track to do $40 million in sales and $12 million in profit. Now, if you think about it, it's pretty good. First of all, it's pretty good profit margin, right, on that side. So that's how they got this, the equity, right? So they got the 2.5%, I guess, yes. So 2.5%, pretty much, they got this funding, right? But what's interesting about this product, guys, is that this product is not 1000% unique, right? This product is something that you would see, right? Something that, let me show you guys. So you go to AliExpress even, right? You have this kind of product, you have this kind of product. There are a bunch of different products, and probably there are ones that more circle as well, right? This one, so plenty of different products. So, but most people, people would say it's saturated, right? Dropshippers would say it's saturated. This is saturated product. Now, the product might be saturated, but the new variation is not, right? And the problem is not saturated. People still have the problem. People still have the problem with the back pain. People still have the problem with the issues they face on a daily basis. They still want their skin to be better, right? They look better. They still want to lose weight. They still want to, just look and perform better. So this is my line of thinking. This is how I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, I used to also think that something is saturated. This is it. You don't do it, right? But now we're getting into the markets where there are certain products and we are differentiating in some ways, either by how product looks, or by how product functions, or by how products, just the color of the product sometimes is differentiator enough for you to scale it aggressively. And scaling big, and overall selling big problem solving products is something that will allow you to scale for years. For example, here, this company called Shapermint, right? So Shapermint is doing extremely well. They're selling this shapewear for people that are more overweight. So you can see this is the revenue, right? After 3 years in business, they already occupy 20% of the US shapewear market, with just focusing on one product, pretty much the product that is solving a big problem for a lot of people. So this is what you have to focus on, right? You can go into niches, you can do and make some other products work, but if you want a good scale, if you want at least 7 figures per month scale for your business, then you have to focus on something that is more consistent and solves a big problem. So we found a new variation of the old product that was validated, right? And that old product had like tens of thousands of orders, like on Amazon, Alibaba, AliExpress, everywhere. It was selling. We know that it solves the problem. So all comes down to demand. You know, if you think about demand, if there is demand for something, people buy. And demand means scale, right? Like if a lot of people have the same problem and you're solving the solution to that problem, this is how you will become rich, right? This is how you can generate, you know, millions and millions of dollars. So solve a big problem for many people, right? This is pretty much how we look at it. Now, at the end of the day, you know, the big problem, but then within that big problem, right, you have to kind of like carve yourself a niche, right? Or you have to sell to a specific segment of the population. So if you're selling, for example, solving like a skincare problem, you might solve a skin problem for a lot of people, but you might also like niche down, maybe solving a skin problem for people 50 plus, right? Or you're solving the back pain problem for people that stay at home moms, right? So now you have a big problem that's still, you know, millions and millions and millions of people, but you also have niche down to the point where your marketing, your message can be very, very precise. So this is how we do it. So ads, we used AdBeat, AdSpy to find ideas for lenders and creatives. We don't create something from scratch. Obviously, we know a lot of things at this point, kind of like what's working, but at the same time, we use a lot of inspiration from what's working in the marketplace. Why we would like reinvent the wheel, right? We would just like, we find something that's working, we're tweaking it, we're making give it better, and that's what we use. The same with ads, the same with landing pages. Obviously, you have to differentiate, right? So you don't want to like just rip everything like one-to-one. You want to differentiate, you want to make it different. But the general kind of like framework could be the same, because you don't want to be, by the way, guys, if you want the funnel template that we've used here, just comment below funnel and we'll send it to you. So you want to use something that is differentiated from other people. So it's kind of like that ratio, right? Like that sweet spot between like copying what's working in the market, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And at the same time, bringing some kind of like creative angle to it. So it's not exactly the same to what people have seen before. So we had our video editor put together 10 variations of the ads using content from YouTube, content from the product that we have ordered. So we've ordered the product, we shot some custom content right away, because we put like so much effort into the product validation in the first place. We know it's selling Amazon, selling Alibaba, selling AliExpress. We know the big pain. We know like millions and millions of people would need that problem solved, that now it justifies all of the effort we put into it, right? So there are many ways to do that, because you know, some people would like just like test products, like boom, 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 and test a few products a day. We have some clients and students that are doing tremendously well with that model. But our model is more like, hey, how can we find products that are doing like extremely well, and then like just scale those products to like multiple 6 figures or 7 figures per month, instead of running like all sort of products. We're just focusing on a few products. Throughout the year, we have like 7 to 12 products that we're focusing on, and we are pulling, you know, multiple 8 figures in revenue, instead of like having all sorts of products, selling them all sort of ways, and just having all of that complexity. So you decide on your model how you want to structure it, but this is the way that allowed us to scale with relatively small team, because it's not the amount of people that are on your team, but the revenue per employee, right? This is kind of like the metric that we are using. So we are aiming for, you know, 7 figures in revenue per employee or more. And so if you can achieve that, then you are very, very profitable with your business, and that is a good scalable business. So 10 interest purchase objective, 5 ads in each. So that's different beginning of the ads. So we're testing at the beginning plenty of variations. Interest targeting mostly and broad. We're not doing anything like specific, very like extraordinary. I have a video on targeting. You can check on my channel what's working for us right now. So just targeting like interest, what's working, like let's say if we scale a skincare product, we're targeting skincare, weight loss, health and beauty, health and wellness, weight loss. I mean, those type of interests work tremendously well. And broad, just like age, country, let's say United States, 35 plus women, right? This is it. Ads got profitable second day, but the metrics on ads were promising right away. If your ads are not, like if your click-through rate is like 0.5%, then you gotta work on your ads, right? It won't change. It won't, like, let's say you test like 10 interests, and then let's say on like 9 of them, your click-through rate is like 0.5%. It means that your ads simply not resonate with audience that simply are not clicking on them, right? So you have to work on your ads. And so the data will tell you that, right? You evaluate the initial data and that will tell you that. So even though we were not profitable, we got the initial metrics on the ads that were very promising. And be ready to properly test the product if you have validated it properly, which means if you have put all of the work into validating the product, and this is what we always do, we just focus, we know 100% the product works. We just have to find the angle for it. We have to find the good creative and we have to find the good funnel. This is it. There's no we know the product solves the problem. We know bunch of people have sold the product. We know millions of people buying the product. So it's just a matter of us making it work. It's not a matter whether the product works or not. It works, right? It works, it sells. It's just how we sell it. This is the only variable, and this is what we're focusing on solving. So be ready to properly test. People ask me how much we spend on testing the product. In situations like this, we could spend a few $1,000s on getting the product dialed in, right? While we figure out, okay, maybe we spend $500, but ads are not the best, right? Okay, so we get a bunch of new ads. We get 20, 30, 50 new ads. We test them out until we find the variable that works. And so we could spend $2,000 to $3,000 on this situation. I mean, and 95% of times there's rarely that the product, after such tremendous validation, after such tremendous effort, the product doesn't work, because we know we have put the work up front. A lot of people just jump after something, just want to quickly validate it, and they might give up. And so while we put so much effort in that, the product that most people wouldn't figure out because they put just a little bit of effort, we put so much effort into it that we make it work. And we have this advantage of also learning of all of the things that didn't work in the first place, that we have the tremendous advantage to scale. So by the way, guys, you want a funnel that we've used here, just comment funnel below and I will share it with you. So consistency, right? So the important thing is just to get the initial momentum, but also to maintain it. So we would introduce 20 variations of ads per week. So we'd use new models. So we get content from Instagram models and also my video editors network. So they know some people, they know models in the network that can do some shooting. They can produce some content. So this is what we do. We collect all of that content and we test it. And some people convert better than others. Those people that convert better than others, we just scale aggressively. Over 150 variations of ads tested at this point. So we've tested plenty of ads, main different makers, right? So this is what worked for us for ads: faces and attractive people, good looking people, thumbnails with faces and emotions. So that's another thing that worked very well for us. And I want to show you here even, guys. So for example, this is the Shapermin, the brand that I showed you. You can see faces, many faces everywhere, right? People, faces, smiling people, right? Smiling people. Another brand here, Coconut. So they're selling this niche shampoo. So you can see a lot of people, right? A lot of people. So it doesn't have to be you can see it's pretty send people just iPhone, let's look at this one, right? You send someone the product, hey, can you send me a video like this? Look at the camera and do it on your hair, whatever, do it. That's it. And this is massive company at this point. So if you want to evaluate how big the company is, 78 people, it seems 25 people in Spain, 6 in Nepal, 1 in India, 1 in United States. It's 100 people in the company. The company is quite young. The company is 4 years old. So this is 8-figure company at this point. This is more like a studio, right? So this might have been more professional shoot here. This one is not, right? So plenty of content. You can see it doesn't have to be sophisticated. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be $20,000 photo shoot, but it could be just you sending the product to people. As long as your packaging is good, as long as your product quality is good, and you might need to pay people for this. Sometimes you pay $50, $100 to just get them to shoot the content. But this is the content that will allow you to scale. One of these ads can help you to just explode your sales and just scale up aggressively. So make sure to reinvest, some of the profit that you make back into the content, because that will be the main difference maker. And specifically people, right? Use people more, use attractive people. I rarely know the advertiser, I probably don't even know advertisers that have done this, that have specifically used people models, Instagram, constantly being very creative about the creative, That sounds good, right? So being very creative about creative and not making it work, not scaling like to at least, $10,000 a day in sales. That's like, I think it is just like, like if you focus on the right product that solves particular problem for a big amount of people, that has some differentiating point, and then you focus on just selling it, right? And then the funnel needs to be strong. Again, you want a template for this funnel, guys? Just comment funnel below, I'll share it with you. Best performing ads also consolidate for retargeting and offers like 10-20% off. One of the things that helped us was just giving more like a discount. So we increased the discount from 15% to 20%, and that has increased the conversion rate substantially. So what I would recommend is, if you want to just like increase the ROAS, overall ROAS on the account, you want to increase the conversion rate, you just give a bigger percentage as a discount. That has worked well for us. So test it out. Like if you give me like 10%, give 15, try 20, try 25, as long as you're still profitable, because imagine you're getting like 100 clicks, you have like 3% conversion rate. So 97% of clicks are wasted, right? So what if you recover like 2 more of those because you're giving a bigger discount? Right now, your conversion rate is like 5%. Okay, you sacrificed a bit of that margin, but you still made some profit instead of making no profit. So make sure to test that out for yourself. Testimonials improve like the same way, the same format as I showed you guys with these brands. So we have like people basically, saying good things about the product, mostly broad in interest. I mean, that's pretty much what majority of the ad structure is. What I think is, by the way, comment angle, guy, comment angle. So I'll send you the angle cheat sheet that you could use to create like a reverse engineer and create new angles for your products. I think products don't saturate, right? If you think about like any product that you might have bought, I mean, what changes over time is just like, for example, right? Wallet. Let's say like a wallet, right? So you have a wallet here. Now, how many years, like, are wallets saturated? I mean, like, really, like, wallets are not saturated. Like, every year, millions of people are buying wallets, right? Now, the brands change, how they look changes, new designs change, those things change, but wallet as a product is not saturated. So if dropshippers wouldn't think like, hey, this is saturated, I'm not doing, like, you just like haven't put enough work into it, right? If you have done all the work up front, like, the product is validated, it sells, you just have to find the right way to sell the product. If you start thinking like this, you'll absolutely destroy it. And now, again, if you're already successful dropshipper, by the way, if you're a successful dropshipper doing like 6 figures per month, or at least like $1,000 a day in sales, there should be a link below. Apply for a call with our team. We'll see how we can help you to scale your business to 7 figures per month. If that's what you want to do, just hit us up and we'll see if that's a good fit. But even if you're like, let's say 6 figures per month, think about how you can dominate your space, right? How you can maybe create the variation of the product that you sell that, other people simply don't have, right? So then you have the advantage, right? Maybe if you sourcing the product from your supplier, talk to your supplier. Do you have other variations of this product? Maybe newer variations, maybe something that sells in China right now, because China sometimes like few months or few years ahead, the products sell in China, there might be like very innovative, and then only a few years after they come, let's say, to United States market. Talk to your supplier, right? Find out new variations of the product that you could potentially sell. Killing low performing ad sets, creating new ad sets. Ideal with higher budget. Let's say the ad sets that saturate, we just kill them, and we might create like new, because we know like certain interests work, right? We just recreate them, and we are adding like new creatives to these ad sets. And then we're letting Facebook figure it out. If it doesn't work, we kill it. A lot of the stuff that we did here was the ABO, so it's very easy to see like this works, this doesn't. Now with iOS 14, obviously it's like, the reporting is a bit off, but still that's, the main metrics you would see, right? Like if something is profitable, it is profitable. So profitability here was around 28%, including all fees and expenses. In summary, guys, just find the big pain, sell the solution, and adjust according to the data, right? Because just put more effort into like validating the product in the first place. Trust the data, right? If people buy something, they buy something for a reason. There's certain products that have been selling like for years. Again, wallet solves a problem, right? And there's this company, for example, at the same time, like Rich Wallet that have created, let me show you guys. So Rich Wallet, I mean, selling like nothing special, right? I mean, these like wallets that you could potentially source like for like $5-10 on like AliExpress or Alibaba. Now, this company here is doing $50 million 2020 selling wallets, selling the product that's been around for like so many years. They have very interesting strategy for marketing, by the way, guys. If you want me to cover, just comment rage below and I'll cover it one of the next videos. But they have very interesting marketing strategy, how they grown company to this level. But this is it, right? The products just like change as market changes. Like the product needs to be shiny object. The product needs to be shiny object that people want to buy. If you do that, if you constantly create these like shiny objects, I mean, obviously you don't want to constantly like recreate your product because then you have to also control the quality. But if you just focus on what's interesting, what's relevant to the market, and some new things that people have never seen before, or maybe something different, or maybe tailored for a specific market, this is what it will give you the advantage. So this is it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, guys. Comment below angles, and I'll send you some of the interesting resources, and I'll see you guys in the next video.